Hello everyone, welcome to Vision Gate, and today we will study about the practical bandwidth of FM signal. Okay, and if you missed previous class then please attend it. And sorry I came after 3-4 days, but don't worry, from now I will be constant. But if you missed any class then attend it, because each and every class is important as respect to gate examination. So today we will study practical bandwidth of FM. So what is practical bandwidth? See, if there is some signal and this is the spectrum of signal, this is you can see. So see, the bandwidth here is infinite. But if you see in this range, the significant part means the most of the signal power is contained in this range. So this range is only known as significant bandwidth. Okay, understood? And that is also known as practical bandwidth. Because see, if we take the bandwidth is equal to infinite, then we need the channel of bandwidth infinite. It will cost more, it will become more complex, our system will become more complex. So we only use generally the significant bandwidth, so that we need a channel of less bandwidth and less cost will be waste. And these parts are the insignificant part because consist very low power, so we will ignore those. Okay, so this was given by Carson, so it is also known as Carson's rule. So I will first give you the formula and then I will derive it. According to Carson's rule, the bandwidth will be 2 delta F plus Fm. Okay, so this is a formula of bandwidth with the Carson's rule. Okay, so how this formula came, I will explain you. So first of all, see, the general expression of FM signal. See, this we already studied in the last class, but we are studying now, so that if someone is watching this first lecture, or even the students who are watching this lecture continuously, they will remember it very nicely. Okay, because if I will write the formula, you will also get benefit, you will also write it again and it will come to your heart. So the general expression of FM is given by this. There is one more way, but now we are studying to find the bandwidth, that's why we are using this, because from this expression only we will derive the bandwidth formula. So this is a general mathematical expression of FM signal in the terms of Jacobian. Okay, and we studied about Jacobian in the previous lecture. So now what happened, when you draw the spectrum of this FM signal, then you will get one component at the carrier frequency, okay, FC, another component, this is at FC plus FM, then one more component at FC plus 2FM. Because we also studied and we solved the question also, which frequency component will be present in a signal. We solve such question. Here it will be FC minus FM, FC minus 2FM, okay, and in this way also, so on, and in negative axis also, negative side also, it will be so on like this. And the component will be represented as AC J0 beta by 2, amplitude of this component. This will be AC J1 beta by 2, we already studied about this, okay, and this will be AC J2 beta by 3, J2 beta by 2 only. And similarly this will be also AC J minus 1 beta by 2, and this will be AC J minus 2 beta by 2. When you will expand this equation, then you will get this amplitude component. Okay, so up to this clear. So now see, the actual bandwidth here is actual bandwidth, because n is going from minus infinite to infinite. So here this n, so fc plus nfm, so it will go fc plus infinite, fc minus infinite. So actual bandwidth will be this. Okay, this term I will erase it because I have to write that will be infinite. But when we transmit this FM signal, it should be band limited, because when it will be band limited, we will require less cost for the channel, and our channel will be simple, it will be not complex. So what we will do, we will retain the lower order component, lower order significant sideband. Okay, lower order means this order, this is order 1, this is order 2, order 1 in the negative side, order 2. So we will only retain the lower order significant component. Okay, before transmitting. So with this, what is the advantage of this? We will have the channel of less cost, very simple channel. So we will retain only the lower order significant component before transmission. So now let's suppose, means assuming FM significant bands, only we take up to first order. When we assume, let me erase this side so that I can write here. So let's suppose in the first case we have assumed FM having significant sideband. So the most significant sideband we will take in this case. So that is up to the first order or first order. We can write it in this tool. So in such condition, now our bandwidth will be, in this condition, see, there will be one component at FC, only the first component we will take, first significant component, so that will be FC plus FM, and this will be FC minus FM. So our bandwidth will be FC plus FM, this minus FC minus FM. So our bandwidth will get, that is 2 FM. Okay. Now in second case, let's assume significant sideband up to second order. Okay, so when we will assume up to second order, now the frequency component present, that means the highest frequency component present is FC plus 2 FM, and the lowest frequency component present is FC minus 2 FM. So our bandwidth will be this minus this, lowest minus the highest minus lowest. So bandwidth will be 2 FM plus 2 FM, that is equal to 4 FM. So let me take the another case in this page. Now assume significant sideband up to third order. So when you will assume up to third order, so it will be like, this is FC, this is our first order FC plus FM, This is Fc plus 2Fm, and this is our third order, Fc plus 3Fm. Why we are studying up to nth order? Because see, in exam they can ask you find up to third order, fourth order, anything they can ask you. This will be Fc minus Fm, Fc minus 2Fm, and this is Fc minus 3Fm. So in such case, the bandwidth will be Fc plus 3Fm minus Fc plus 3Fm. So that will be equal to 6Fm. Okay, it is just the width between these two things, so that is 6Fm. So you all know. So according to Carson's rule, I will derive the Carson's formula. According to Carson's rule, significant sidebands up to beta plus 1 order. And you know what is beta in this FM signal? Beta is equal to delta F by Fm. This you already know. So according to Carson's rule, bandwidth was given as beta plus 1. See, order into, see this is third order, so order is 3 into 2Fm. Okay, so बीटा प्लस 1 ऑर्डर के लिए बैंडविड्थ क्या होगा? बीटा प्लस 1 into 2Fm. So we will get 2, and beta we will substitute delta F by Fm. Delta F by Fm plus 1. Okay, now into Fm. So when you will take LCM here, this Fm and Fm will get cancelled, and finally you will get bandwidth is equal to 2 into delta F plus Fm. So you understood how this formula came. Very simple formula, but very very useful in the GATE examination, because many year question came from here, so it is very very important. So see, the bandwidth of Fm is 2 into delta F plus Fm. This is the bandwidth of Fm signal, and we have already studied bandwidth of AM signal, that is 2Fm. So clearly bandwidth of Fm, because see the extra 2 into delta F term is here, that is greater than bandwidth of AM. So when we consider bandwidth, then AM signal is better, more efficient than Fm signal. But to save power, Fm is better, whereas to save bandwidth, AM is better. So we can write, you can write it as a note point. To save power, because the power efficiency of Fm is 100%. To save power, Fm is better. Okay, whereas to save bandwidth, AM is better, because the bandwidth of AM is less than the bandwidth of Fm. Okay, so now we will see the power efficiency, and we will get a very important concept. Just keep your focus here. Power efficiency. See, you should attend the previous lecture before watching this lecture, and always after covering the concept you try the GATE question, because see I am doing very few GATE question in this class, means online class, but you should attempt all the GATE question of electronics, electrical and instrumentation branch. This is common for these three branch people. Then only you can succeed in GATE examination. So efficiency, that is given as, efficiency is power of sideband by total power. So in this case, what is the what will be the power of sideband? That is total power minus power of the carrier. That is called the power of the sideband. Okay. So divided by PT, that will be 1 minus PC by PT. So this is the efficiency of power. Okay. So 1 minus PC by PT, and we know that our PC in the FM signal, that is AC squared by 2R into Z0 squared beta. We already studied in the last lecture. And PT, that is equal to AC squared by 2R. Okay. So now when you will substitute PC and PT in this equation number 1, then you will get efficiency is equal to AC squared by 2R Z0 squared beta divided by AC squared by 2R. So, and sorry, this is 1 minus PC by PT. So we will write efficiency is equal to 1 minus this numerator term is PC and this denominator term is PT. So 1 minus PC by PT. This AC square by 2R will get cancelled. So we will get efficiency is equal to 1 minus Z0 squared beta. Okay. Now when you will plot, let's come to the next page. We got efficiency is equal to 1 minus Z0 squared beta. So the plot of J0 beta with respect to beta is given as like this. So it will come like this. This is Z0 beta. So Z0 beta coming 0. Just you remember this, because if I will teach you how this graph came, it will take 1 hour, and there is no use of this, because in GATE examination they do not ask how this graph came. This point I will tell you what is the importance of this point. So see, Z0 beta is coming 0 at becoming 0 at beta value. Beta is equal to at 2.4, 5.5, 8.6, 11.8. So at this value of beta, Z0 beta becomes 0. So if Z0 beta becomes 0, then efficiency is equal to 1, that is 100% efficient. Okay, at beta is equal to, what are the values? Again I am writing so that you will remember now only. See, 2.4, 5.5, you can remember in this way also. Difference between 5.5 and 2.4 is 3.1. So add again 3.1 in 5.5, so it will become 8.6. And again add 3.1, but just little extra, so that is 11.8. You can remember in this way. There is not any such techniques, but I remember always in this way only, these beta value. So when beta becomes 0, then efficiency will become 100%. So, and what is the efficiency formula? PT minus PC by PT. So when efficiency is equal to 1, then PC is equal to 0. So it implies that for ever beta values 2.4, 5.5, 8.6 and 11.8, the carrier power becomes 0, so that power efficiency will become 100%. So write a note point for beta is equal to 2.4, 5.5, 8.6 and 11.8, the carrier power is equal to 0, so that the power efficiency will become 100%. Okay, so at this value the power efficiency will be 100%. So let's take an example now. Example of FM, and this is Z naught square beta. Okay, sorry, Z naught beta. So now let's suppose we are plotting Z naught square beta. So this negative term will go in the positive, but 0 will occur at the same position. Okay, and this will be 2.4 only. So as beta increases from, let's suppose this is 2 and this is 3, from 2 to 3, then at 2.4 this carrier power becomes 0. So just for reference I have told you, there is no use of this, but this was a question based on gate. I will give the full question also, don't worry. So now let's take an example, previous year gate question. Previous year question now we will solve. So the question is, a carrier signal of 20 volt and 2 megahertz is frequency modulated by a message signal of 5 volt, 25 kilohertz with Kf is equal to 50 kilohertz per volt. Find delta F, bandwidth and power. So very simple question. I will give you 2 minutes to solve and just reply your answer in the comment box. Okay. So 1 minute only I will give you, because very simple question. A carrier signal of amplitude is given, the frequency Fc is given, and then the modulated means a message signal, amplitude is given, and FM is given, Kf is given. You have to find delta F, bandwidth and power. Use simply the formulas and you will get the solution. Okay, so half minute left, just solve it. Solve it fast. So your time is up. Now I will solve this question. See, we have to find delta F. So first we will write what all are given in this question. This AC, carrier signal amplitude, that is given 20 volt, and the frequency of the carrier signal is given Fc, that is equal to 2 megahertz. Okay, now a message signal of 5 volt and 25 kilohertz. So AM, that is equal to 5 volt and FM, that is equal to 25 kilohertz. Okay, these things are given. Now this is KF that is given as 50 kilohertz per volt. Okay, so up to this is given. Now the first thing they are asking you to find delta F, and we already know this formula. Delta F is equal to KF AM, because we have studied in FM signal. So go and watch the previous lecture if you don't know this. So KF into AM, that will be is equal to, their value of KF is given 50 kilohertz per volt. 50 kilohertz per volt into AM. AM is 5 volt. This volt and volt will get cancelled. So you will finally get 20 to 50 kilohertz. See, delta F should be in frequency. That's why this unit is coming in the frequency. Sometimes if you forget the formula, you can solve the question using the units also. If unit get deducted, in that way you can form the formula. But if you completely forget the formula, then that is very worst case. Now beta we have to find. Sorry, here we have to find beta, because FM is already given, no need to find that. So beta is equal to delta F divided by FM, and delta F is 250. Here FM is how much? 25. So our beta will be 10. Okay, so we got the value of beta. Now bandwidth, according to Carson's rule, you can write 2 into delta F plus FM, or 2 FM into beta plus 1. There is two ways to find the bandwidth. 2 FM into beta plus 1, or you can write 2 into delta F plus FM. When you will do both, you will get the answer same only. Substitute delta F value, that is 250 kilohertz, and FM, that is 25 kilohertz, so that will be 275 into 2, so it will be 550 kilohertz. So our bandwidth is 550 kilohertz. Now they are asking you to find the total power PT. So PT is equal to AC square by 2R, and R will be 1. If it is not given in the question, then R will be 1. So that will be is equal to AC is 20. So 20 square divided by 2, 400 by 2, that is equal to 200 watts. And don't miss the units, because when you will practice units, so if you crack GATE exam, then when you will go for interview, it will be very easy to answer the interview's question, because these all are the basic concepts. Okay, if you remember the unit of everything, then that is your basics are strong. So now we will take a very interesting previous year question. An FM signal is given by ST is equal to 10 cos 2 pi into 10 to the power 6 t plus 8 sine 4 pi into 10 to the power 4 t. So this is the expression of FM signal is given. You have to find delta F, bandwidth, beta, and power. This fourth thing you have to find, like the previous question. And second, repeat above problem. See, with the second question we will draw a new concept. So sometimes we will do question concept through the questions. So repeat above question if message frequency is doubled. Same thing you have to find, but when message frequency is doubled. Okay, so this question is two part. So I will give you 2 minutes to solve this question. Just solve it fast and reply your answer in the comment box, so that I will know that you all are watching the lecture and you are understanding the concepts. So you are solving. Just solve the correct answer. If you will give, then it will be good. You are going according to the GATE standard. You should solve this question after learning those concepts. See, from the equation only you have to find FC, FM, AM and beta all over the required input values, and then substitute in the formula whatever we have studied and get the answer ready. Okay, so this is the way to solve this question. So only 1 minute left. Just solve it. सॉल्व करो यार, देखो सॉल्व करोगे तभी तुम्हारा ग्रोथ होगा. मैं सॉल्व करूंगा तो इससे तो मेरा ग्रोथ हो रहा है ना, तुम्हारा ग्रोथ तो नहीं होगा इससे. देखो जनरल एक्सप्रेशन एफएम का लिखो, उसके बाद कंपेयर करो, बीटा का वैल्यू फाइंड करो, एफसी का वैल्यू फाइंड करो, एएम का वैल्यू फाइंड करो, देन एवरीथिंग फाइंड करो, एफएम फाइंड करो, एंड आफ्टर दैट you know the formulas of delta f, bandwidth, beta and power. Everything is so simple. Just solve it. And second part, if you're not able to do, just leave it, because there is some hidden concept in that I will tell you when I will solve that question. So reply your answer in the comment box, because only 10 seconds left. So your time is over. Now I will solve this question. The first part, first I will solve the first part, then I will erase it, then I will solve the second part here on. So see, the general expression of FM signal can be written as ST, that is equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus beta. Here it was 2 pi kf integration mt dt, but after simplification you will get beta sine. We have already done this simplification in the previous lecture. 2 pi fm t. So this is the general expression of FM signal. Now match this equation with the general expression and see, this value is AC. So AC is equal to 10. See, 2 pi FCT. So this is our FC. FC is equal to 10 to the power 6 hertz. So that is 1 megahertz, or that is also is equal to 1000 kilohertz. Now see, this is our beta. GATE asks such type of question only. Beta is equal to 8. Now here it is 4 pi into 10 to the power 40 and it is 2 pi into FMT. So FM is equal to, when you will equate, 2 into 10 to the power 4 hertz. So that is equal to 20 kilohertz. Okay. So now we have to find delta F. Delta F is equal to beta into FM. You know this formula, beta is equal to delta F by FM. So delta F is equal to beta into FM, and here beta is given as 8, FM is given as 20 kilohertz. It will be 160 kilohertz. First part is done. Bandwidth, using the Carson's rule, it will be 2 into delta F plus FM. What is our delta F? Delta F is 160. So 2 into 160. What is FM? That is 20. So it will be 360 kilohertz. So up to bandwidth and delta F there is no problem. See, for finding bandwidth, we have used the Carson's rule, and we have already found our beta value, that is equal to 8. Third question is also done. Now the power PT is equal to AC square divided by 2R. So here our AC is 10, so that is 100. R is 1 whenever not given in the question. If resistance R is the resistance, don't get confused. So it will be 50 watt. So done. Now what we have to do, this is very important, we have to repeat the above question if message frequency is doubled. So when we double the message frequency, we have to repeat the same question. So see, when FM is doubled, okay, so in the previous question FM was 20 kilohertz, so now our FM will be 40 kilohertz, okay, and we all know delta F is equal to KF into AM, okay. So KF is also same and AM is also same, so our KF into AM is constant, so that it remains same. See, whenever FM is increasing by 2 times, delta F will not change, delta F will remain constant. So delta F will remain constant, so our delta F here will be, that is equal to 160 kilohertz only, as we have found in the previous question. So there is no change in the delta F. Now beta is equal to delta F by FM. So see, FM is increased by 2 times, so beta will decrease by 2 times. So you can find here also, or you can find from the previous question, beta will decrease by 2 times. In previous question beta was 8, so here it will be beta will be 4. And if you find using the formula delta F by FM is 40, so you will get 4, the same value, okay. Now we have to find bandwidth. Bandwidth is equal to 2 into delta F plus FM. So see, our delta F is constant, so that is 2 into 160, and FM is increased by 2 times, so that will be 40. So our bandwidth will become 400 kilohertz, okay. It is not like that bandwidth become twice, because only FM is becoming twice, okay, but delta F is remain constant, so it will not be the twice. In the earlier case it was 360 kilohertz bandwidth, in this case it is 400 kilohertz. Now PT, that is equal to AC square by 2R. There is no change in the AC values, it will be 50 watt and that will remain same. So see, whenever FM is increased by 2 times, delta F remains constant. So delta F is the independent of message frequency, and if message frequency is doubled, then beta value is half. So just write it as a note point, because very important point. Never change delta F according to FM. FM and delta F both are independent. FM is independent of delta F. So delta F is independent of FM, that is message frequency, and if message frequency doubled, then if message frequency is doubled, then beta will be halved, okay. Then beta will be half. So clear? So we learn the concept from this second part, because when FM is twice, then there will be no change in delta f, because delta f is independent of FM. So let's take another example. This is also previous year GATE question. Okay, a carrier signal of 5 cos 2 pi into 10 to the power 60 is frequency modulated by a message signal is given. Now it is given that maximum frequency deviation of FM equals to 4 times of AM bandwidth. Find coefficient of the term cos 2 pi 1014 into 10 to the power 3t. Very important question. Solve. Is the excellence question in the resultant FM expression. Resultant FM expression. Options are also given. I will write options with green pen so that it will look good. 5J48. Option B is given. 5J78. Option C is given. The one who will correct this question, I will give you 5 rupees. Just solve it now in the live. I will really transfer it. Give me your number, I will transfer on Paytm. So this is the 4 option given. I will give you 1 minute to solve. Only excellent student will solve such type of question. To solve it, I will give you 1 minute. When your time is over, then I will solve. So only 25 seconds left. Just comment your answer. ये prize winning question है. Or you keep on solving. I will give so many prize winning question, and I will give you money by the end of the week. The student will solve in the live class, and the answer should be commented before the time. So your time is up. Okay, so now I will solve this question. See what it is given in this line. Read the question twice if you are not able to solve, such that the frequency deviation of FM equals to the 4 times of AM bandwidth. So the frequency deviation, that is delta F, that is equal to 4 times the AM bandwidth. Okay. So what is the bandwidth of AM? 2 into FM. So 4 into 2 FM. That is equal to 8 FM. And what is FM here? This is a message signal. Here it is 2 into 10 to the power 3. FM is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 3 hertz, that is equal to 2 kilohertz. So delta F is equal to 8 into 2, that is equal to 16 kilohertz, and FM is equal to 2 kilohertz. Now they are asking the coefficient of this term. So term is cos 2 pi 10 to the power 1014 into 10 to the power 3t. Okay, so we have to find the coefficient of this term. So when we write the general equation of FM signal, we will write ST is equal to AC summation n is equal to minus infinite to infinite Jn beta cos 2 pi Fc plus nfm t. So this, in this way we can write. So see here, 2 pi into, we have to find the coefficient of term, having 2 pi into 1014 into 10 to the power 3t. So Fc plus nfm, when you will equate both this equation, should be is equal to 14 into 10 to the power 3, we can write it as kilohertz. So our Fc is here 1000 kilohertz, FM is here 2 kilohertz, and N is N. So what will be the N value? When N is equal to 7, that will be, it will become Fc plus NFM is equal to 10 to the power 10, this 1014 into 10 to the power 3t, 10 to the power 3 kilohertz, 10 to the power 3 hertz, that is equal to 1014 kilohertz. So we got our value N is equal to 7. So see, this option satisfies J and beta N is equal to 7, and no other option satisfy, so you can directly write this option B is correct. And if you have to find amplitude and this 8, let's suppose this option was also like 7, then what you will do in this case, then you have to find the beta value also. So what will be the beta value? Beta is equal to delta F by Fm. So that will be is equal to delta F is here 16 by 2. So that is equal to 8. So this 8 is correct. This is beta. This is N. And this is our AC coefficient. So AC is here 5. So our answer should be AC, J and beta. Okay. So option B is the correct option. And when you will put N is equal to 7 in this equation, this FM equation, then you will get the cost. This term will be 2 pi into 1014 into 10 to the power 3t, and this will become J, N is equal to 7, beta is equal to 8, and AC is equal to 5. So the coefficient will be 5, J, 7, 8. Okay, understood? This was a very excellent question. Got it? So let's solve one another question, because see, if you solve more number of question, then only our practice will be very good. So this is again the previous year GATE question. Very simple question. An unmodulated FM power is given by 100 watts. Okay, each frequency modulated with with beta is equal to 3.8. Find, you have to find two things. First, power of carrier frequency component. Second is total sideband power. Just solve it fast. I will give you 1 minute to solve this question. Very simple question. So you should solve within 1 minute. See, the question is an unmodulated FM power is given by 100 watt. That is unmodulated. Okay. And frequency modulated with beta value is given 3.8. You have to find the power of carrier frequency component and the total sideband power. So your time starts now. Just solve it. And one more thing is given in this question, that one more thing that is required, that's why it is given Z0 3.8, because see, beta is equal to 3.8, that's why that is equal to 0.4. This value is given. So now solve this question. So you have only 20 seconds left. Just solve this question. Very simple question. And you have to find total sideband power also. So your time is over. Now I will solve this question. See, the first part, it is given that Z0 beta is equal to 0.4 and AC square by 2R, that is the unmodulated carrier, that is equal to 100. Why? It is the unmodulated power of carrier signal, because the power of CT, that is equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT, that will be is equal to AC square by 2R when it is unmodulated. So that is given as 100. Okay, R value is 1. So now when it is modulated DC, that is equal to AC square by 2R. In FM we know that is frequency modulated with beta is equal to 3.8. Z0 square beta, okay, that is equal to AC square by 2R is 100, and we have to find the power of carrier frequency component, and J0 beta, that is J0 3.8 square, and what is the value given? 0.4. 0.4 square will be 0.16. So 100 into 0.16, that is equal to 16 watt. Okay, so done. And after this first part is done. We have to find the power of carrier frequency component. First, what we have done, see, the power of carrier frequency when it is unmodulated, that is 100, it is given. So AC square by 2R is equal to 100, that is given. And carrier power when it is modulated with means frequency modulated with beta is equal to 3.8 will be AC square by 2R into Z0 square beta. So that is equal to 100 into Z0 square into 3 point, Z0 square 3.8 and Z0 3.8 is given 0.4. Now the second part, that is the total sideband power. So total sideband power, that is equal to total power minus carrier power. So what is the total power here? For FM, we know that total power, that is equal to AC square by 2R. So that is equal to 100 watt. And in this FM modulated carrier power, we have found 16 watt. So the sideband power, total sideband power will be 100 minus 16 watt, that is equal to 84 watt. Okay, so done. So we have solved various number of questions. So you can also solve using the previous year gate book. So let's take a simple concept, the next concept of a frequency multiplier. Let's suppose this system is a frequency multiplier system. Here it is, frequency multiplier n. It multiplies the frequency by n. Basically this system does like this. So when cos theta will pass through this system, our output will be cos n theta, because it multiplies the frequency with n. So when our narrow band FM signal expression is written, that is equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus beta sine 2 pi FMT. This is written, and here beta is much less than 1. So now when we will pass it through frequency multiplier, our output will become wideband FM, because the n into beta will be, because n into theta will be much larger, so beta will become more than 1. So it will become wideband FM signal when n beta is greater than 1. So this if we will multiply the frequency with n, so our expression will be written as AC cos, it will multiply with n, so 2 pi n FCT plus n into beta, this will be also multiplied with n, sine 2 pi FMT. See, now if n beta is greater than 1, then we can call it as wideband FM signal. So whenever we pass through frequency multiplier, so see one thing, observation you see, this is frequency multiplier input, this is output. Okay, see our FC is changed to NFC. FC, they can ask you that we have passed a narrowband FM signal through frequency multiplier of n is equal to 2 or 3. Now find FC. So FC will be simply n into FC. Okay. Beta value also change into n into beta. So if they ask you to find beta, you will directly find n into beta. The third part, that is FM. A star mark here, because see, FM is here with sinusoidal, so FM is not changing, FM is remain constant here, FM will be FM only. You have to write the same FM value if they ask you to find FM, and delta F, that is equal to beta into FM, so that is n into beta FM, so it will become n into delta F. So this was a very important concept, and question also came in GATE examination from here, so you should remember this. Okay, so today we will stop here only, and in the next lecture we will start phase modulation, and see, after few days I will try to take 2 subjects, one in the morning, one in the evening, so that our syllabus will get complete. And don't worry, there are many faculties will be coming on this group. So just subscribe this channel if you want to watch the future lectures. Thank you all. So today we will stop here only. Goodbye.